So you guys absolutely loved the video of my top 5 Metal Master battles that should have happened, and I truly appreciate the love on that video. But for today, I decided to do a top 5 on Beyblade Metal Fusion battles that should have happened. I know y'all voted for Fury, but trust me when I say this. I'm making that video a top 10 instead of a 5. So that'll take some more time, and hopefully you guys just sit tight for that video, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, these battles, once again, are in no particular order, and this is just my own personal list on what battles should have happened, or that I wanted to happen at least. But before we get into this video, be sure to leave a like to help this video get boosted into the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe for more Beyblade and Yu-Gi-Oh content in the near future. We are literally super close to 1,000 subscribers, and I would really appreciate it if y'all hit that big red button, or white. I'm not sure what it is now, to be honest with you. But either way, let's finally get into the list. So the first battle I want to talk about is a character that had potential, and then all of a sudden, never got used again, and stayed shelved for God knows how long. Pretty much the entirety of the Metal series though. It's Sora versus Jenga. To me, this would have been a really cool battle to see. Someone fighting his idol and the other fighting his biggest fan, I guess. But Sora to me was a character that I believe should have been the lead in Shogun Steel, respectfully. Now again, I haven't watched Shogun Steel, but again, I know this may be a gold take, but I genuinely would have liked to have seen him or heard of him in some sort of main character role or something like that. I think Sora, since his development as a blader since when he first appeared, could have done some work to Jenga, but in reality we all know who's going to win. But the loss would be promising, as Sora showcased amazing potential and Jenga continuing to root him on for the future. Maybe Sora could have tried for battle bladers but fell short of qualification, who really knows. I just ultimately wish something was working with him, but unfortunately we never got that. And yes, I would have loved to have seen him battle the blader he looks up to the most. The next battle is something that I think could have happened and ultimately have been a really good one, and it kind of did make some small sense due to the story and the path of what one of these bladers have taken. That is Doji versus Tsubasa. He's faced Jinga, Kyoya, Hiyoma, Kenta, Ryo, and others, but not Tsubasa. I feel like we underrate how good Doji is as a blader, because I believe that battle with him and Ryo was extremely underrated. He did a lot of damage to Fire Blaze, or whatever the base name is, Phoenix, whatever. Tsubasa could have battled him, let's say, when he got busted for being an undercover WBBA member or associate. I have no fucking idea. It would have been cool, and who, in my opinion, would win? I'd say Tsubasa, by a close amount. Not entirely close, but it can convince you that it was. Now, these three battles have, honestly, nothing to do with story purposes. Maybe two of them, but I think all in all, these battles would be bangers nonetheless. Let me start off with Ryo versus Kyoya. Jenga's rival and father battling it out. Why, I don't know, just for the fuck of it. Ryo is a heck of a blader, and I can't remember this, but didn't he beat Tsubasa? Which is pretty good to know about how strong he is. I think Kyoya, without a doubt, is stronger than Tsubasa. I mean, look at the battle with Ryuga. Maybe it could possibly make Kyoya see Beyblade in another perspective. What I mean by that is the power of bullshit, aka friendship, and he says fuck that and beats Ryo. Close battle in my opinion, but Kyoya walks away victorious. Ryo wouldn't be mad, however, because he now knows how strong his son's rival is, and would eventually see their all-out clash in Metal Masters where Kyoya got robbed in broad daylight. But yeah, you get what I mean. Now, let's get into two battles, well, the last two that involve one character. The creepiest and honestly most sadistic blader I saw in the Metal Saga, and just gave off the quiet kid in school that has, I'm not elaborating any further on that. Reiji. Yeah, him. I'm going to start off with him and Tsubasa. This battle, in my opinion, would be the first true legitimate test for him, for calmness and everything else. And just when he gets Reiji to break and crash out, that's when Tsubasa could potentially be on the ropes, testing his mental strength, but he will eventually win this battle in my opinion. Extremely close though. Reiji is very good, let's not get that twisted. I think Poison Serpent would do extreme damage, but again I think Tsubasa survives, literally. That's what it kind of felt like when Jenga beat Reiji, but I could totally be wrong about that. I didn't realistically go through Metal Fusion like crazy. I definitely don't think it's the best one. I think it's actually Masters in my opinion, but Fusion it's still fucking fun to watch, you know? He might eventually bring the battle in the air, and I think that's where Serpent can be extremely vulnerable, and I don't think Tsubasa would fall victim to Reiji's torturing. His craftiness would win him the battle, but again, his mental fortitude would be tested to its absolute limits if he didn't battle Ryuga. Now, let's talk about another blader that battled Ryuga, who I mentioned previously in this video. Kiyoya vs Reiji was easily the first battle I had in my mind when it came to battles I wanted. I know a lot of you guys will probably say Reiji vs Ryuga, especially if Ryuga absorbed the power of Poison Serpent. That would be really cool to see. Two dark moves clashing would be really good. So I'm just going to leave that as an honorable mention. That easily could have made this list, trust me. But Kiyoya vs Reiji would have been a banger. I feel like he can push the limits of all main bladers like Jinga, Tsubasa, and Kiyoya. He has that it factor when it comes to that, and the sick mind games and torture could make these guys way stronger, especially if they win. Kiyoya to me felt like the guy that would resist so much, eventually fall into his trap and tactics of Reiji, and then boom, get back to normal and cook his ass. I know how dumb it sounds when I'm making Reiji lose these battles, but I don't want to see a guy like that win. Like, I get the ick, or no. That sounded kind of zesty.
After all that.
But when I see him on my screen, my mind says, ew. Plus, I'm a hater, and 2024 is the year of being a hater. Lions and snakes are known animals in the jungle. I think my CTE is acting up, and seeing these two clash would be amazing. But I think Kiyoya would want to end this battle as fast as possible. However, it'll be a long and enduring battle. I feel like he would use Lion Gale Force Wall to get him in the air and eventually use King Lion Terran Blast or the blast shot that he used only once in his entire Beyblade career. I mean, shit, Kenta made this guy crash out, and I believe Tsubasa and Kiyoya would beat him. I think Fusion had the smallest cast of bladers comparing to the other two, so it was actually kind of difficult for me to come up with these battles. Some I may have not mentioned or even acknowledged, but hey, that's for you guys to let me know about. If I missed any battle I didn't mention that you wanted to see in Metal Fusion, let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know what battle you think would be number 1 on the list I made. Be sure to leave a like and hit that sub button for future Beyblade and Yu-Gi-Oh content. I would really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.